Hi kids, what time is it? It's story time! Do you want me to tell a story? Wow, seems like you are all excited for today. But first, let us all stand up and we will sing colored eggs, see them all around. Red eggs, blue eggs, yellow eggs, see them all around. Colored eggs, green and purple too. Let's go and hunt for colored eggs for me and you. Okay, class, thank you for your active participation. Before we dive into our story, I'd like to remind everyone of our classroom rules. These rules are here to ensure that our learning environment remains safe, respectful, and conducive to learning. Let's go over them together. First and foremost, we must always respect one another. This means listen when someone else is speaking and avoiding interrupting others. 2. If you have a question or you want to answer, please raise your right hand. Third and last, I encourage each of you to participate actively in our discussion and activity. Now that we've reviewed our classroom rules, I trust you to do all your best to follow them. And remember, these rules are here to create a positive and productive learning environment for all of us. So today, our story is all about the goose that laid a golden egg. Right, our story for today is The Goose That Laid a Golden Egg. Are you ready? Let's start. In 3, 2, 1.
The goose that laid golden eggs. One day, a poor farmer suddenly got a goose. It was a special goose that laid one golden egg every day.
My heavens, this is unbelievable. The egg is gold. Ha ha ha!
The poor farmer decided to sell the eggs. And soon after, he became rich.
That's a good goose. Keep laying those golden eggs.
The farmer became very greedy. He was now already rich, but he wanted to become even richer.
How come the goose lays only one egg a day? There's no way I'm going to become really rich like this. There must be a way to collect a bunch of golden eggs at one time.
The farmer became so greedy that all he thought about was getting richer.
Ooh, I bet there are a bunch of golden eggs inside the goose's belly. I bet if I cut open his belly, I could get them all out at once.
But there were no golden eggs inside. In fact, there was nothing inside.
Oh, how could I have been so foolish? My greed has caused me to lose everything now.
At that moment, the farmer understood what he had done, and there were no more golden eggs.
Oh, my poor eggs.
Like the story? Okay, here class, I have some question class, and remember, if you want to answer, please raise your hand. Thank you class for your participation for your oral presentation. You guys really understand this story. It is important to know the title of a story. It is important that we should know the setting, the character, the plot, the conflict, and resolution. So what is that all about, teacher? So that we are able to interpret and respond to text, and also we can focus and discuss the key details of literary elements support the understanding of the author's message and purposes. Today, class, I will introduce to you the basic elements of a short story. So here are the basic elements of a short story. They are the character, setting, plot, conflict, and the resolution. First, character. What is character? The character are about the individual that the story is about. Every story should have a main character. The main character determines the way the plot will develop, and it's usually who will solve the problem the story centers upon. Next, the setting. The setting is the location of the action or the story. Plot. The plot is the actual story around which the entire book is based. So, plot have different elements. First, the exposition. The introduction or the beginning of a story that reveals important background information. Second, rising action. All the events that happen in a story on the way to the climax to build suspense and tension. Climax, the highest or the most intense point in the development or the resolution of the story. Next is the falling action, the period of time in a story that follows the climax and leads to the resolution. Next is the denouement, the point in the story in which the conflict is resolved. And the theme, the meaning behind the event and the character's action in a story. The theme is the central idea, message, or purpose of a short story. So that's for the basic elements of the story. Alright class, now that we've discussed the elements of the story, it's time for us to move on to our activities. But before we do, let's take a moment to remember why understanding these elements is so important. Knowing the characters, plot, the setting of a story help us understand what's happening and why. It's like putting together a pieces of puzzle to see a big picture. By paying attention to these elements, we can dive deeper into the story and its message. Okay, for your activity, based on the short story you read about the goose that laid a golden egg, use the table below to answer the elements of the story. Done answering? Okay, pass your paper in front. Thank you. Okay, class, before we finish for today, I want to share a quote that sums up what we talked about the goose that laid the golden eggs. Remember this class, it is not about how much stuff you have, but about being happy with what you've got. Keep that in your mind as you go about your day. See you next time, so let us call it a day. See you tomorrow, class. Goodbye. Morning, class. It's nice seeing you today, class. With your beautiful smiles, with your beautiful face, It's another day to have a new lessons in life. Before anything else, get your assessment notebook and answer these questions. Okay, pass your notebooks. Grade 4, we end our class. Please get your assignment notebook, copy this one, answer it, and pass it on Monday morning. I hope that you've learned a lot today. Again, I am Teacher Gizel saying goodbye and see you next time to our next story lesson. Bye bye.